Hi guys, this is Dr. Janki Shah, and today we are going to embark upon a very important topic for final BDS, that is epidemiology. Epi means upon, demos means people, and logy means study. It was previously also defined as study of epidemics, but a more complete definition is given by John M. Last in 1988, where each word of the definition is important. That is, it is the study of distribution and determinants of health related states or events in specified population and the application of this study to the control of health problems. We study each word in detail. So basically there are three components of epidemiology, that is disease frequency, distribution and determinants. All three words are very important. Disease frequency means you measure the frequency of disease, disability or death in the forms of rates, ratios or proportions. You see the distribution of the disease according to time, place and persons affected. And determinants, you study the etiology or the reason why the disease has occurred, that is physical, biological and behavioral factors, health related states or events like deaths, injuries, behavior like lifestyle diseases because of smoking, and specified population means identifiable characteristics and defined numbers. And the last important part of definition is what is the purpose of epidemiology? It is to prevent and control the disease. So what are the aims of epidemiology? It is collection and analysis of vital records, collection and analysis of morbidity data from hospitals, surveillance of levels of disease, implementation of investigations for controlling and preventing epidemics and health problems, designing and implementing clinical research studies and health surveys, screening of disease. The word screening means you try to see the disease in a population where you know people are susceptible to it. The person might or might not have the disease. Evaluate effectiveness of treatment methods. For description of clinical course and history of the disease. History of the disease means it starts with say a discoloration of the tooth, which is followed by a cavity formation, which is followed by dentine, followed by pulp involvement, followed by root caries, and finally loss of tooth. Identify the population at risk. Population at risk meaning that population might catch the disease. The thing is, they might have the disease or they might not have the disease. Identify links of etiology, meaning the first etiological factor which needs to be present is say sticky carbohydrate, and then what is required is susceptible tooth surface and so on. You identify the links of etiology. Then evaluate the health problems, and finally what is the aim of epidemiology? That is to provide data for health planning, decision making by the administrators so as to prevent and control the diseases. The objectives of epidemiology are to collect and analyze all data relating to roles of agents, host and environment. This is an epidemiological triad, that is, for a disease to occur, three things are required: agent, host and environment. We will cover that later. To further analyze and describe occurrence, distribution and nature of diseases according to variables such as age, sex, occupation, etc. To research to find out the causal factors, and lastly to help administrators to lay down priorities, appraise action and evaluate periodically. That is, if there are more than a few diseases which are there in the population, it will help administrators to find out which disease needs to be taken care of first, whether prevention is important, control is important, or treatment is important. Accordingly, action is taken and then evaluated periodically. Uses of epidemiology are to study historically rise and fall of disease in population. That is, lifestyle diseases such as diabetes, hypertension, heart diseases are more on the rise, and polio is like it's receding. There is a fall of disease in the population. Community diagnosis. Once you arrive at a diagnosis, the use of epidemiology is to help you to plan and evaluate and put the program into action. It also helps you to evaluate the individual's risk and chances. It helps in identification of syndromes. It helps in completing the natural history of the disease, and it helps in search for causes and risk factors. Which are the various steps in epidemiological study? The first step is to acquire the basic knowledge about the disease. Second is you define the problem clinically, that is an operational definition. Then collect data and formulate the hypothesis. We come to later what is an hypothesis actually. Then analyze data, interpret and present the report. Use sampling techniques for valid conclusions, and arrange for special investigations like lab investigations and expert consultations. Again, what are the components of epidemiology? Disease frequency, that is rate, ratio or comparison, that is proportion. Then distribution of disease according to time, place and person, and determinants of disease, that is etiological hypothesis or risk factors. Now we come to the tools of measurement, that is for disease frequency, that is rate, ratio and proportion. Rate is an occurrence of particular event in a population during a given time period. Ratio is relation in size between two random quantities, while proportion is a ratio which indicates the relation in magnitude of a part of a whole, usually expressed as a percentage. We come to each in detail. So, rate is the frequency of a disease or characteristic expressed per unit of size of the population or group in which it is observed. Rate measures the occurrence of some particular event in a population during a given time period. It consists of a numerator, denominator, the time factor and the multiplier. Examples: rate is number of events in a specified period divided by population at risk of experiencing the event or disease multiplied by 10 raised to n. The numerator always forms a part of a denominator. So, if there is a fraction, then the upper number is the numerator and the lower part is the denominator. So, just to give an example of a rate, this is, first of all let us go through crude rate. Crude rates means actual observed rates such as birth and death rate. Why is it known as crude? Because it is not exact, because some of the births and deaths are not reported to the proper authorities, therefore it is known as crude rate. Specific rate means actual observed rates of disease due to specific causes or diseases occurring in specific groups or diseases during specific time period. We come to that example later on. And standardized rates are obtained by direct or indirect method of standardization or adjustment, like the age and sex standardized rates. Next we come to ratio. Ratio denotes this relation in size between two random quantities where the numerator is not a part of the denominator. Example of say A is to B or A divided by B. Another example is like a ratio of male is to female population in a place. So, another example is number of children with caries at a certain time divided by number of children with gingivitis at a certain time. Proportion, it is a ratio which expresses the relation in magnitude of a part of the whole and it is expressed as a percentage, the numerator is always a part of the denominator. That is, example is number of children with caries at a certain time divided by number of children in village at the same time multiplied by 100. Now we come to the most important definitions which are there, that is incidence and prevalence. Incidence is the number of new cases. The word new is very important. The number of new cases occurring in a defined population ratio during a specific period of time. The uses are to control the disease, for research into etiology and pathogenesis, distribution of disease and efficacy of preventive and therapeutic measures. Prevalence, it refers to all current cases, old and new, existing at a given point and time or over a period of time in a given population. There are two types of prevalence, point prevalence and period prevalence. The uses are to estimate the magnitude of the disease problem and to identify high risk population. It is also used in administrative and planning purposes. There is a mathematical formula which you need to remember, because sometimes in one-liners you might be asked a calculation, that is prevalence is equal to incidence multiplied by duration, and therefore incidence will be prevalence divided by duration and duration will be again prevalence divided by incidence and so on. So, if you want to still understand what is incidence and prevalence, then let us say incidence is the number of new cases. So, if in a library, if the library opens at 9 am and you want to see the incidence and prevalence, then if you go at 10 o'clock and count the number of people which are there at 10 o'clock, that will give you the prevalence, and incidence will be the number of people who are the incidence will be the number of people who have entered within the hour. Again, if you want to compare incidence and prevalence, prevalence is when a water is flowing through the tap, then the water which is flowing newly from the tap, that is incidence, and all the water which is gathered in the bucket below is the prevalence. Few more definitions which we need to know, that is media population. Media population is the denominator in quite a few formulas, that is it is the population estimated to be present as on 1st July every year. Population at risk means all those in the particular population to whom an event or disease could have happened, whether it affected them or not. So, crude death rate is equal to number of deaths during the year in a population divided by media population multiplied by 1000, while specific death rate of oral cancer is equal to number of deaths from the oral cancer during a year divided by media population multiplied by 1000. Few more definitions. Morbidity means any departure, subjective or objective, from a state of physiological well-being. Impairment means any loss or abnormality of psychological, physiological or anatomical structure or function. Disability means any restriction or lack of ability to perform an activity in the manner or within the age as considered as normal. These are the factors which affect the mortality rate, that is birth rate, density of population, geographical reasons, seasonal, epidemic experience, secular variation. Few more important definitions which are asked to you in one-liners, that is epidemic, endemic and pandemic. Epidemic is the occurrence in a community or region of cases of an illness or other health related events clearly in excess of normal expectancy. Pandemic is intercontinental spread of disease. So when corona epidemic COVID-19 started, it was an epidemic in China, but now it has spread throughout the world and has become a pandemic. Endemic means it is a constant presence of a disease or infectious agent within a given geographical area or population group without importation from outside. Most common example is fluorosis or goiter. Sporadic means the cases occur irregularly, haphazardly from time to time, and zoonosis is infections transmitted from vertebrate animals to man. One other important short note is epidemiological triad. So, for a disease to occur, three things are required: agent, host and environment. If in case tetrad is asked to you, the fourth factor is time. So, first of all, let us speak about the agent. Agent is defined as the organism, substance or force, the presence or lack of which may initiate a disease process or may cause it to continue. Living or biological agents, example are bacteria, virus and protozoa. Non-living agents such as nutrient agents like proteins and fats, if they are in excess or if they are deficient, they may cause disease. Similarly, chemical agents such as lead, arsenic, ketone bodies in diabetes, urea in renal failure. Physical agents such as temperature and atmospheric pressure. As you know that extreme temperatures or atmospheric pressure may also cause disease. Next we come to the word host. Host is a person or animal that affords lodgement to an infectious agent under natural condition. So, demographic characteristics are age and sex, biological characteristics are genetic background, nutritional and immune status, socio-economical characteristics such as religion, education, social class and marital status. Lifestyle includes living habits and food habits. And the last one is environment. Environment is the source or reservoir of agents of disease. It can be two types, internal or external. Internal means from the organs and systems of human body, and external means external to the human, that is physical, examples gases, liquids or solids, say pollution. Then biological, animals or plants, example rats, mosquitoes, bacteria or fungi. Social and economical factors. So, if it is dental caries, the host is the tooth, agent is Streptococcus mutans or bacteria, and environment will be saliva. So, this is the way easily, if you can remember this, it is one of the slides. Next we come to the classification or types of epidemiology. It is broadly divided into two, that is observational and second is experimental. Observational means once you start the study, you cannot change any parameters inside, while in experimental you can change because you are carrying out an experiment. That is, for example, if you are studying the any drug, you can change the quantity of the drug, you can change the drug itself, you can change your target population, you can change almost any parameters present in the experimental studies. But in observational studies, if you start with a proper definition of a disease and the age group and everything, you cannot change anything once you start the study. So, observational studies are of two types, descriptive studies and analytical studies. Analytical studies are again divided into two, that is case control or retrospective studies, cohort studies or prospective studies, and experimental studies are of three types: randomized controlled trials or clinical trials, field trials or community intervention studies, and community trials. Now, what is actually the epidemiological approach? So, these are the W's which are asked, that is first is what is the event, to identify the disease, then what is its magnitude, that is identify the severity, Where did it happen? Identify the place and area. When did it happen? Identify the time of occurrence of the disease. Who are affected? That is, identify the persons affected. Why did it happen? To identify possible reasons for appearance of the problem. And last is, you have to make comparisons between the study and control group. What do you mean by the word study group and what do you mean by the word control group? They are absolutely most of the characteristics in study and control group are same, like age, sex, culture, economical status, then cultural status, everything is almost similar. The only difference is the presence or absence of disease. That is, in control group there will be absence of disease, in study group there will be the presence of disease. Again the questions where, when and who are the parts which make up of descriptive epidemiology, and why did it happen is a part of analytical epidemiology.